Hi, Half Moon Bay community. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about something that I know you all have heard a lot about, which is vaping both of nicotine instead of, say, cigarettes, and vaping of cannabis or marijuana oils and waxes. So here at the high school, and I know that this problem is everywhere in all schools, including middle schools and so on, I want to show you a little bit about what we know so that you know what to look for in case your kids or your kids' friends are involved. So first of all, I would like to look at this. This is a Juul. Now you may have heard of Juuling or Juul brands. This is a nicotine vape. Okay, so this blue cartridge has a heater element in it, and then you just stick a pre-charged oil-filled cartridge into it, and you can light it up. It warms up, and a person can inhale the vapor. And that's a nicotine dose. Very strong, very powerful. And if you know anything about nicotine or had any experiences with cigarettes, you know it's extremely addictive, and nicotine is cancer causing. But many of our students are doing this. You can't smell it over the camera, but it smells fruity. It is attractive to children. And so children can't see or feel the harm to these things, but it is there, the nicotine addiction and the cancer causing elements of it. Now, Juul isn't the only brand out there. There's others that look kind of similar. There's some that are very slim, like this one here, a Suorin brand. This one looks like, you know, from a distance you might think this was a highlighter, but this is a nicotine vape. Okay, so if you see these kinds of things, you know that there's a good chance your student is involved in this. But also, here's a pack of cartridges. This is what it looks like. If you were to see new cartridges unopened from the pack, this is what it would look like. And these go into Juuls. Also, Juuls are charged through a USB port. So people can stick them right into a computer, for instance, to charge them up. The end of it goes in like this and charges away. And so if you were to find a charger like this with this kind of end cap that fits a Juul or one of its a similar brand, you know that's the possibility that someone in your is using Juuls. Oils come in sometimes refillable cartridges. It depends on the brand, but this is Unicorn Milk, and it's just smelly stuff. This has got 0.3% nicotine in it. I'm not sure what this is, but it's a nicotine oil, and it can be used to recharge certain kinds of cartridges. Okay, so any of these things, if you see any of these objects, there's a good chance that your student is involved in nicotine vaping, and you really need to see if you can stop that before addiction sets in. On the other hand, we also get marijuana or cannabis vaping as well. Now, this would be a traditional marijuana bowl for smoking, a bud and so on with a lighter, and yes, that certainly is going on, but you might be less familiar with these kinds of cannabis vapes. So this is a very common type of cannabis vape you see nowadays. It's very slim, pen-sized, and it works exactly the same way as the nicotine vapes. There's a cartridge at the end here. Here's one that's loose, filled with cannabis oil and with various flavors in it, and then the heating element right here. There's another popular brand here as well. There's many brands of this particular type. This is one that's popular. We've seen this a few times. It kind of has a switchblade effect. So, woo, out like that. So basically though, the same thing, the cartridge that screws into the end of the heating element for the vape. So if you were to see any of these things in your kids' stuff, you need to really take some action. These are cannabis vapes. Of course, they're traditional marijuana pipes and bowls, and this is the big explosive thing that so many of our students are using without the understanding and knowledge that they are dangerous. That is one of the most addictive drugs known and cancer-causing, and our kids are attracted by the flavors and how fun it is to play with these things, but it is not good for them. So parents, take note, educate yourselves. Hey, check through your kids' stuff, and if you're seeing these things, they may tell you it belongs to somebody else, but chances are it's something that they're experimenting with, and the time to stop it is now. All right, well, thank you very much for your attention, and keep your kids safe.